Fall is approaching and a long racing season is coming to an end, but there are still a few races left. Gravel Grit and Grind, a 3-day stage race in Halmstad, Sweden, is always a highlight for me. It's close to our summer place and the weather is usually fantastic. The race features a time trial stage on Friday, a long UCI race on Saturday, and a shorter Swick Cup race on Sunday. Friday, which means it's TT time. I just picked up my starting package, including my number, which I already pinned on, have the kit on. Then we have the bike chip, which I put on, and then also the number plate on the back of the bike, which I'm still struggling a bit with to get it as Aero as possible. But yeah, otherwise in terms of bike setup, same as always. Biggest difference, of course, are the Aero bars just for today for the TT. It will be pretty technical in the first 10 minutes, but then afterwards you hit like open farm roads, and will probably make a bit of a difference there. Let's see how well it will go. I have no idea. I mostly bought them for my Badlands adventure, so yeah, why not use them now as well, just to see how it goes. I put them all the way down without any spaces, to be as Aero as possible. Not super comfortable compared to my other setups I've ridden so far where I had all the spaces in, but it should be fine for 30-minute effort, I think. Then afterwards I will take them off again for tomorrow to just use the normal handlebars. So yeah, that's for the setup. And then going to get ready now. I have about 1 hour until my start time. We'll warm up a little bit, and yeah, blood sugar is pretty stable right now. I had a bit of a rougher night, but it doesn't matter so much for today as the start time is at 2, so I had a lot of time to fix and get my blood sugar stable. So now feeling pretty good. I had a really easy week. Let's see if that helps. Alright, I parked at the finish and the start is in a slightly different position. Going to ride there now, check out the first few kilometers just to see if something changed from the last few years. Not according to the GPX, but yeah, let's see how we're doing there, so I don't take any wrong turns or something like this. But yeah, otherwise warming up now a little bit and then bringing the rest of the stuff back to the car before lining up to start. It's 17 kilometers with like a steep hill in the beginning and a steep one almost before the finish line, which are the tough parts, especially for me. A bit of technical section in between, but nothing too crazy, so it should be fine. It's pretty dry. 2 years ago it was very muddy, which made it even harder, but yeah, it seems like it will be like last year, pretty fast. I'm excited to see what my legs can do, but anyway, I really like this first stage because it's a really good leg opener for tomorrow. Okay, short warm-up done, going back. Okay, back at the car now, putting the camera on the bike now, and let all the other stuff in the car and do a bit more warm-up, but yeah, just a little bit of warm-up now. And the blood sugar is already dropping, so I'm taking a gel now, just to be on the safe side, even though the blood sugar will spike as soon as I start racing. But yeah, it's a bit too low now to feel really good right from the start. So taking the gel now, a bit more warm up, and then yeah, cutting to some TT footage at least. I hope, if everything works. Jumping into the race footage, and it's hard from the first second on. We go up this small hill before hitting tarmac for a short distance, straight into the steep kicker, which most people usually walk. Pretty happy that I made it over, and we go directly into this twisty single track where I miss on the corner, and a second later another one, meaning this little tree. Two crucial mistakes that already cost me a lot of time, but we keep on pushing straight into another hill, through backyards and open fields, before the rider that started 30 seconds behind me catches me before a single track descent. We go through the finish area of tomorrow's race, which is pretty tricky as the gravel is super loose, and we finally hit straight open farm roads and can make use of the TT bars. Also, I was thinking. While I did a few short test rides before, never had this kind of effort, so breathing got pretty hard and I was not able to put down the same power as on the normal bars, so I kept on switching a bit. I wasn't going slow, but also not as fast as the other guy that overtook me, and the distance kind of stayed the same. I got overtaken by the later second place finisher just before going into the Sandpit and overshot another corner. I also missed a shortcut here, going right off the bushes instead of left, which was the direct way with less sand. The hill at 25% is pure survival, but the power and momentum are good, until I did not pay attention and hit this big stone with my front wheel, which meant I had to unclip and run the last few meters. This actually hurt more than riding. At this point I'm close to seeing black, and the lack of focus meant that I missed out on another turn, having to go around and accelerate again. I used my last bit of power and pushed through the finish with a time of 30 minutes and 40 seconds. A decent improvement from last year, which was 34 minutes and 30 seconds. Just finished stage 1. Insanely tough, very warm day. Finished in 31 minutes and 30 seconds. That's another 2 minutes faster than last year. So pretty happy with that, even though it definitely was not enough for any decent placement. We'll check later what I placed. There were definitely quite a few people who got close to the 30, maybe even faster. But yeah, still very happy with that, that I got faster than last year. Not sure if the aero bars helped that much if you're not used to it, and doing hard effort, getting the breathing correct. It's pretty hard. I was really out of breath and felt like puking in the end, which I think has a lot to do with riding the position. And yeah, couldn't quite put the same power down as maybe riding in the hoods. I always switched a bit, but yeah, was still fine. Worth a try. Good warm up for tomorrow. And yeah, let's see. I think blood sugar feels pretty good. Have to check what it is at right now. Didn't bring the phone. But yeah, let's see where we're at. Alright, spiking upwards. Can't see the actual number right now, but yeah, the gel plus the effort in the beginning as expected. But yeah, brought some leftover breakfast now to quickly eat, recover for tomorrow. Driving back to the summer place now and relaxing, going to the ocean maybe, and then get ready for tomorrow for the big race. Really excited about that one. See how long I can hold on to. But yeah, see you tomorrow. Good morning and welcome to day 2 and stage 2. Today's the big one, the UCI Gravel Race, which is 140 kilometers and about 1,700 meters of elevation. Few punchy climbs, will be really tough to get over them with the strong guys which are lined up today. A lot of big names, so yeah, I'm just out to have fun today. Not too worried about my performance too much, but it's a good opportunity to try a few new things. Went really carb heavy on the breakfast compared to my usual rather high protein breakfast. See how that works out. So far the blood sugar is pretty stable. A bit to the higher end, so we'll warm up now, see how it goes, and then maybe inject right before we start if it's still mid to higher end. But yeah, otherwise same bike setup as yesterday, just no more TT bars. We'll check in soon with my fueling strategy, but it's the same as in the other races as well, so nothing new there. And then yeah, we'll see if I can find my teammates now and warm up with them, and then it's already race time in less than 1 hour. And we're off for the big one, with a short neutralized start that is already full gas from the gun. I know from last year that we will shortly hit the big tarmac road, where the speed will drop, so I try to save as much energy, trying not to get any mechanicals. We hit the first climb, which is more split into like 3-4 smaller climbs with plateaus in the middle, and the speed is already insanely high. Thanks to the flatter parts, it's not too hard to hang on yet, and I managed to have a really good descent, making up a lot of positions. The vibes are high at this point, but I also already spent a normalized power of 420 watts in the first 30 minutes. Something that I cannot sustain for 4 hours. At kilometer 21 we are in the approach for the next big climb, but I'm really struggling to keep the same speed as the peloton. At only 3-4% I'm doing over 440 watts and still go backwards. And before we even hit the actual climb, the group is already gone. Now it's solo riding, but I also know that I won't be able to catch the front anymore, and the next group behind me is coming, so I try to keep the effort steady. Eventually I get caught after a while and I jump on the group. Finally a bit of time to relax and recover. The next big climb does not offer any problems, but the one after splits the group into smaller pieces and I end up a bit too far in the back. A short solo push brings me back to the chasing group right when we hit the next longer tarmac section. And it's around 20 kilometers of rolling hills, which are pretty easy and offer a good recovery before the next decisive part would come. The group is still pretty big and we're fighting for position going into a narrow bike path. From there into a short but steep and decisive climb, which already split the group in a dozen pieces in the past few years. It's not only the climb but also the long section after, which is very fast with a few steep kickers, making it really hard to get back if you miss out on a fast group. I'm not in the best position and sadly miss out on the front, so I have to settle for the third group at this point. We push at a good speed and catch a lot of guys that fell off the front groups, but not much happens until kilometer 91, where we hit the next longer climb. I sadly cannot go the same speed as the fastest guys in our group, and it splits right when the rougher part of the track starts. At this point it's just up and down on pretty rough gravel until kilometer 108, where we have the last longer climb. During that section I also drop the guys behind me and I'm alone at this point. I find a few lonely souls here and there, and we become a pretty big group until kilometer 120. We have a decent speed and not too much left to get the race over with. At kilometer 130 we go through a mountain bike path with a last climb and a pretty rough descent, where the group splits again. Some in the front, others in the back, and I get to ride the last 10 kilometers alone. We crossed the finish line after 4 hours and 20 minutes. Still really happy with the numbers. 300 watts average and 350 normalized power for almost 4.5 hours is pretty crazy. A bit faster compared to last year, while the race overall was also a lot slower. Still very far away from where I want to be. As you can see, it's all about getting faster on those short climbs now.
Good job.
We still have left for my last wheat.
What is it? Flour.
Really cool.
Finished the race a while ago, as you might have seen now. Went pretty okay. The level in the elite category is insanely high, as expected. Couldn't stand a chance there on the climbs. But still happy with my performance. Technically, I rode really well. I had good power overall. It's really about getting the watts per kilo up now. It's the missing puzzle piece. Let's see. That's a project for the winter, for next year. See how well I can do that. But yeah, anyway, we just had a podium ceremony for a pair who finished first in his age category, which is super nice. So hopefully he will join us at the World Championship in October. That would be super fun. And he also has a priority box now. Nutrition wise, I didn't film it, but I smacked down this whole box of noodles just to get the recovery going for tomorrow. Otherwise, blood sugar also overlaid, but it was pretty perfect. Really happy with it. I noticed one dip a bit before the finish, maybe 25-30 kilometers before, so I had to take 2 gels pretty fast. So I had a little bit of a down moment there, but overall still really happy with it. I need to check, and we'll also overlay it, how many carbs I had in total. 2 times 90 in the bottles, I think, and then 3 gels or something like that. So yeah, could have been maybe a bit more for 4 hours and 20 minutes of racing, but I didn't feel like I lacked any energy. Let's see how the recovery is going. But yeah, driving home now for dinner, eat more food, and then try also to get some protein in. But yeah, that's it from here. Tomorrow we head to a different part of Halmstad, a bit outside, for the last stage, stage 3, 96 kilometers I think, so a bit shorter, but a really steep, tough climb right in the beginning. So yeah, will be as hard as today, I would say, but it's part of this wake up, so I want to place there pretty decently, get some points, see if I can finish maybe in the top 10 there by the end of the season, as I also plan to race the last wake up race. But yeah, that's the plan for tomorrow. Good morning, welcome to day 3 in stage 3, last day. We have about 100 kilometers and 1,000 meters of elevation. Another tough day. The track starts with like a quite long, punchy climb, 5-minute effort or something like this. But yeah, if you make it over the top, it's flat for quite a while before it's more hilly in the second part of the track. So the goal is me to survive that first climb today. I don't know, I slept pretty good, but HRV is really bad and the sleep score was also really bad. So yeah, let's see how good the legs will be today. Will be really hard to tell from the, just now standing here. Right now it feels pretty okay, but let's see once we start. Blood sugar is again a bit towards the higher end, but that worked perfectly yesterday, so we'll inject a bit before starting. Bike setup exactly the same, no changes there. So yeah, 45 minutes to start, I think. We'll warm up a bit, recon the last kilometers, because that's a technical single track descent, just to see what's happening there. Okay, checked out the last 2 kilometers. I think not too much of a problem, same as last year. Injected 8 units now, 20 minutes before the start, just to counter the initial spike again. Also, I'm only running 2 bottles with cup mix, so I definitely want to avoid to get a high blood sugar right from the start, because I have no normal water with me. But yeah, otherwise going to warm up a little bit more and then just see how it goes. We'll jump into the race footage now, hopefully, and yeah, you will see me surviving the first climb, and then we'll see how it goes up from there. The race began with a Halmstad, where all categories took off simultaneously, resulting in a large field. After only a few hundred meters, we encountered our first climb. I knew that maintaining the front would be crucial, as the climb flattened out after a while, allowing me to conserve energy for the first half of the race until the next climb. Despite pushing 500 watts for 5 minutes, I missed out on the front and had to settle for the chase group. This was a challenge in itself, as the gap to the front was relatively small. We pushed hard to catch them, but I was struggling to recover from the initial effort, and every little kicker hurt. Like yesterday, I felt a lack of speed. I was pushing well over 400 watts here, but the group in front of me slowly faded away. Fortunately, a few corners brought the speed down and I was able to catch up. However, being in the back of such a large group was not ideal. I wasted a lot of energy and I knew that the pinch point was coming up. Unfortunately, I didn't have the legs to move up. We hit the pinch point shortly after, which was a short but steep kicker with loose gravel. I ended up in the back of the chaos and the group split into a few pieces. I kept pushing as the next part was relatively flat, but sadly the rest of the guys was just sitting in my wheel. Eventually the group behind us caught up and I jumped on their wheel. At this point I really felt low on energy and every little kicker slowed me down a lot. People overtook me, but then they take really bad lines in corners, so I overtake them again until the next kicker. This went on for a while, but was super exhausting and I didn't have the energy to push a bit further in the group. After finishing my bottle and the gel pretty quickly, I finally felt my energy return. I was able to move up in the front and things already got a lot easier. We had a smooth ride until almost 2/3 into the race when we hit a longer climb. As always, the group got a small gap over me over the crest of the hill, but a fast downhill after meant that I should be able to close the gap again. I missed the road sign and took a wrong turn. Sadly, I only noticed it a couple of 100 meters later when my Wahoo pinged me. I turned around and after a pretty rough descent, we hit a longer tarmac stretch. Sadly, the group was long gone and I had to ride by myself for the next 15 kilometers until the next group caught up to me. I was pretty cooked at this point and just hung onto that group. Sadly, the camera died shortly before the finish, but no more splits until the last climb right before the finish happened. The group rode more or less together into the finish. Alright, stage 3 done. As you've seen now, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. Very dirty, but heading straight to the summer place now and then into the ocean to clean up and enjoy the last proper days of summer here in Sweden. Next week's going to be colder, so need to make the best out of it. Quick little dip in the ocean done, which was really nice and refreshing. Now finally had the chance to actually look at my blood sugar a bit from the race and noticed that it was overall a bit towards to the lower end, which definitely explains a little bit the dips I felt during the race. I think going for the same strategy as yesterday was maybe not the smartest decision in the end. I should have injected a bit less before the race, mostly because I assumed the glycogen storages, I didn't manage to fill them up quite as much, so when we had the initial climb in the beginning, it didn't release as much glucose from the storages, so in hindsight the blood sugar didn't rise as much as expected, which could have been a problem. But yeah, it's still crazy. Same as yesterday, the race was a lot slower as last year. I think last year I had 2 hours and 40 minutes or something like this, which was like the winning time today. So yeah, not sure what to do with that weekend yet, but yeah, going to have some dinner now and enjoy the last day here in the summer place before we're heading back to Stockholm.